Did you know that by pressing Shift and tilde keys, you can enter a first-person free-roam mode? By using WASD keys, you move around. Rotate your viewport with mouse and use the scroll wheel to adjust the movement speed. You can even enable gravity and land and walk on surfaces by pressing Tab, and teleport to where the aim in the center points at by pressing space. You can even do the same thing while you're in a camera view, and it will follow you wherever you go. Speaking of cameras, don't you hate adjusting them? No matter which method you use, be it locking camera to view or adjusting its location and rotation in the separate viewports, we can all agree that it's a huge headache. But it doesn't have to be that way. By pressing Ctrl, Alt and numpad 0 on the keyboard, the camera will automatically appear to where the viewport itself currently is, after which you can manually adjust it by moving it around. When trying to rotate or scale multiple selected objects at the same time, instead of adjusting them one by one, you can go to Transform Pivot Point menu at the top edge and select Individual Origins. This way, Blender will scale and rotate them around their individual origins instead of the one that is in the middle of the entire selected group. Same thing also works in Edit mode, where it's much more useful in my opinion. If you're using Blender on a laptop and you don't have a mouse or a numpad, what do? Go to Edit, User Preferences, and then Input, where you should check the Emulate Numpad and the Emulate 3 button mouse checkboxes. Now when pressing number buttons at the top, they will act as numpad keys. And by holding Alt and right clicking or double tapping on your trackpad, you'll be able to freely rotate around just like with mouse and the scroll wheel. To move the viewport around, hold Shift together with Alt, and to zoom in, hold Ctrl. There are often times when we need to know the poly count of our models. In order to find out how many polygons are in the current scene, go to Overlays and check the Statistics checkbox and bam, here's all of the info on the matter. If you're anything like me, you'll often find yourself in a situation similar to this. Yeah, I moved my blend file to a different folder and forgot to move my texture with it, wherever it is. In order to avoid this very unpleasant sight, we can go to File, External Data, and click on Automatically Pack Resources. This way, Blender will always put every single texture you use inside the .blend file itself, so you no longer have to worry about managing files. Don't forget to save though. Have you ever tried importing low-res pixely textures in Blender, only to stumble across this blurry mess? This happens due to texture interpolation, which means that Blender automatically scales and smoothens all of the imported textures by default. Fortunately, there is a really easy fix to this issue. Just go to your image texture node and change the interpolation type from linear to closest. There you go, now pixels look sharp as a razor. This is a very strange one. You can actually use video files as textures in Blender. In order to import a video, go to your image texture node and open your video file as you do with regular textures. Then we have to set the total amount of frames you want the video to be played at and check the auto refresh checkbox, otherwise video won't start playing. And that's pretty much it. We have a working video in Blender, albeit without a sound.